Welcome to another edition of Elections Unlocked, the show that brings you all that's happening in Battleground 2024. The big political development today is coming from Uttar Pradesh, where after Rahul Gandhi now, Samajwadi Party President Akhilesh Yadav has become the second big leader from the India Alliance who's going to contest in this 2024 Lok Sabha election. Akhilesh Yadav is all set to file his nomination now from Kannauj, tomorrow the perfume capital of India. It's been a seat he's won in the past. It's been a Samajwadi Party stronghold, and that's why he seems to have chosen to contest from there. But it also, remember, puts him at least in the front-ranking leaders who's taking on the BJP head-on in Uttar Pradesh. The Samajwadi Party was winning this seat way back from 1999 to 2019. But last time, Akhilesh Yadav's wife, Dimple Yadav, lost to the BJP candidate there by 13,000 votes. Now, the announcement comes after 2 days of speculation over whether Akhilesh, who's already an MLA, would be contesting the Lok Sabha or not. The SP had earlier announced Akhilesh's nephew, Tej Pratap Singh Yadav, as the likely candidate for Kannauj. Listen in.
अभी भी ये कहा जा रहा है कि जो कन्नौज का टिकट है अखिलेश को दे सकते हैं।
कोई कंफ्यूजन नहीं। कल 12 बजे कन्नौज में अखिलेश यादव नामांकन करेंगे। नो कंफ्यूजन।
तो इसका मतलब अब ये हो गया कि उनका टिकट नहीं होगा, तेज प्रताप यादव नहीं लड़ेंगे।
अखिलेश यादव नामांकन करेंगे।
तेज प्रताप लड़ेंगे या आप भी कहीं से लड़ेंगे?
देखिए, जब नॉमिनेशन होगा तो आपको खुद पता लग जाएगा। इंडिया गठबंधन भविष्य बन के आ रहा है और भारतीय जनता पार्टी इतिहास बन जाएगी इस चुनाव में।
And joining me now from Lucknow is our correspondent there, Kumar Abhishek, joins us for more on that story. Kumar, ये speculation चल रही थी कि लड़ेंगे नहीं लड़ेंगे, आखिर में लड़ रहे हैं। क्या इंटेंशन क्या है? अखिलेश यादव MLA है, लीडर ऑफ द ऑपोजिशन है, क्यों उन्होंने ये डिसीजन ले लिया है कि वो अब लोकसभा भी लड़ेंगे?
देखिए राजदीप, अखिलेश यादव लगातार पिछले कुछ सालों से वहां सक्रिय थे। पिछले 1-1.5 साल से उन्होंने इशारे छोड़ रखे थे कि वो वहां से चुनाव लड़ेंगे, लेकिन आखिरी मोमेंट तक उन्होंने ये तय नहीं किया था कि वो लड़ेंगे या नहीं लड़ेंगे। लेकिन जिस तरीके से उनके कार्यकर्ताओं ने उनकी जो कन्नौज की यूनिट है उसने ये कहा कि अगर आप नहीं लड़ेंगे तो ये सीट आप हार जाएंगे, समाजवादी पार्टी ये सीट हार सकती है। एक तरीके से ओपन रिवोल्ट जैसा था, लोगों ने मना कर दिया कि वो सिर्फ आपको लड़ाना चाहते हैं उनके कार्यकर्ता। ये एक बहुत बड़ा रीजन है। लेकिन इसके अलावा इस चुनाव में अब अखिलेश यादव को भी ये लगने लगा है कि इंडिया गठबंधन मजबूती से धीरे धीरे पांव पसार रहा है और जिस तरीके के ग्राउंड से फील आनी चाहिए वो उन्हें लगता है कि है। ग्राउंड पर इस तरीके की कोई हवा नहीं है कि बहुत ज्यादा आपको कोई लहर दिखाई दे रही हो। वो ठंडा चुनाव है और यही वजह है कि आप देखेंगे कि अखिलेश यादव ने फ्रंट से लीड करने का फैसला लिया है। अगर वो चुनाव में होते हैं तो जिस तरीके से उन्होंने अपने पीडीए को उतारा है, यानी कि आप देखें तो सिर्फ अपनी बिरादरी से यानी कि यादव से 5 और मुसलमान से 3, 80 में सिर्फ 8 सीटें उन्होंने अपने एमवाई समीकरण को दी है और इस बार उन्होंने दूसरी बिरादरियों पर खूब जमकर दांव लगाया है। तो कहा तो यह जा रहा है कि ये सब कुछ 27 के लिए है, लेकिन इस चुनाव में अखिलेश यादव सीरियसली जिसे कहते हैं कि चुनौती देना चाहते हैं। उन्हें अब लगता है कि उत्तर प्रदेश से भी इस तरह की आवाजें हैं कि वो यहां पर कुछ चैलेंज दे सकते हैं और यही वजह है कि आप देखेंगे कि इसका फैसला उन्होंने लिया है। हालांकि ये मजबूरी का फैसला भी है जो अब एक स्ट्रेटेजिक फैसले की तरह से दिखाई दे रहा है। राजदीप।
Kumar Abhishek, for giving us that excellent analysis. Kumar Abhishek effectively suggesting there was pressure from the party cadres in Kannauj that he fight, but also Akhilesh Yadav after that first round in Uttar Pradesh seems to be sensing an opportunity. And remember always the road to Delhi tends to lead through Lucknow. Kumar Abhishek joining us there. Let's turn there, of course, to the fact that campaigning for the second phase has ended this evening. Remember, 89 constituencies in 13 states will vote this Friday. That's the 26th of April. Compared to the first phase, the second phase has turned out to be a bitter, fierce war of words. Barbs and jibes are now flying high from both sides. In this war of words, one thing that's become very clear is that Priyanka Gandhi Vadra is the star campaigner for the Congress. If Narendra Modi is, of course, the star campaigner of the BJP, it's Priyanka Gandhi Vadra who's capturing the eyeballs for the opposition as she campaigns across the country. Listen in to the Priyanka factor.
जो भाजपा के बड़े बड़े नेता हैं, प्रधानमंत्री जी इंक्लूडेड, उनके व्यवहार से ये लग रहा है कि चुनाव उनके पक्ष में नहीं जा रहा है, क्योंकि वो ऐसा लगता है कि बौखलाए हुए हैं, बहकी बहकी सी बातें कर रहे हैं, पता नहीं कौन से मुद्दे उठा रहे हैं, जबकि अगर 10 सालों के लिए इन्होंने कुछ किया होता जनता के लिए, जनता के जीवन में तरक्की लाने के लिए, मतलब कि आपका जो जीवन है उसमें जो महंगाई आई है उसको कम करने के लिए, रोजगार दिलवाने के लिए, शिक्षा के संस्थान बनाने के लिए, स्वास्थ्य की सुविधाएं देने के लिए, तो आज ये मंच पर आकर ये डिस्कशन नहीं होता जो आजकल हो रहा है। आप मुझे एक सूची दीजिए कि किस किस परिवार के कौन से बच्चे, बेटे, बेटियां, चाचियां इनकी पार्टी में हैं, और मैं दावे के साथ कह सकती हूँ कि आज इनकी पार्टी में ज्यादा है। तो ये जो परिवारवाद की बात करते हैं ना, इनको समझना चाहिए कि परिवार जो भी होता है, हर परिवार में एक मर्यादा होती है, हर परिवार के कुछ असूल होते हैं, और परिवार के सदस्य उन असूलों के लिए हमेशा लड़ते हैं। यही हमारी परंपरा है, भगवान राम ने भी यही किया। कैसी कैसी बहकी बातें पिछले 2 दिनों में अब ये शुरू हुआ है कि कांग्रेस पार्टी चाहती है कि आपके मंगलसूत्र और आपका सोना आपसे छीन ले। 70 सालों से ये देश स्वतंत्र है, 55 सालों के लिए कांग्रेस की सरकार रही है, किसी ने आपसे सोना छीना, आपके मंगलसूत्र छीने? इंदिरा गांधी ने अपना सोना, जब जंग हुई थी, अपना सोना देश को दिया। मेरी मां का मंगलसूत्र इस देश को कुर्बान हुआ है। प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी एक स्कीम लाए, उसका नाम था इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड्स। उसका मतलब था कि जो भी किसी भी राजनीतिक दल को चंदा देता है उसका नाम गुप्त रहना चाहिए। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा कि ये स्कीम गलत है, इससे भ्रष्टाचार बढ़ेगा, और जो सूची है जिसने चंदा दिया है उसका नाम बाहर निकालो। जब ये लिस्ट बाहर निकली तो पता चला कि नरेंद्र मोदी जी की पार्टी ने, नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने इनसे किन किन लोगों से चंदा लिया। पता चला कि जिन कंपनियों पे छापा मारा था, जिन पे केस डाले थे, उनसे चंदा लिया गया, और जब चंदा मिल गया तो केस, वो छापे बंद हो गए। आज साफ दिख रहा है कि किस तरह से काले धन को सफेद करके इन्होंने अपनी पार्टी में चंदा दिलवाया।
Okay, so let's assess the Priyanka Gandhi Vadra factor. Joining us now is Rahul Gautam, who tracks the Congress party for us, and Javed Ansari, senior journalist who's tracked the Congress for years. Javed, let me come to you first. As someone who has understood this party over the years, what role is Priyanka Gandhi Vadra really playing in this 2024 elections? Is she, as I called her on Twitter, an impact player used only at election time? She's not even, as of now, willing to reveal whether she will contest or not from Raebareli. Sources close to her saying she won't contest. So what is the role that she's exactly playing in this election, according to you?
You got it spot on, Rajdeep. She's the impact player. She's being sent out as the star campaigner, and she's having some effect. She's communicating well. She has an edge over others, especially her brothers, because she's a lot more comfortable in Hindi and the local language. One of her strengths is her communication skills, and also that she's more at home with the cultural ethos and cultural sensitivities of the country. That's why look at the reply to the Mangalsutra controversy. She spoke of how her father died and her mother's Mangalsutra was compromised, and then cited how Mrs. Gandhi gave away all the gold and all the jewelry she had in the 62 war to aid the war effort. So she has a ready answer.
You're saying she has these ready answers, but Rahul Gautam, unless she contests an election, a Lok Sabha election, she can never really be seen as a lead politician. Is there any reason to believe that she could even now contest from Raebareli? A lot of speculation, but sources close to her insisting that that's not on the table.
Well, you rightly pointed out that the window is yet not closed. On 26th of April, when the polling will get concluded in Wayanad, what we are learning from our sources that a decision in this regard, that whether Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi will be contesting from Raebareli and Amethi or not. But you rightly pointed out that although she comes across as more articulate than Rahul Gandhi, somebody who who takes on PM Modi and on BJP better on emotive issues than Rahul Gandhi and other leaders, and always send out this message that she's ready to take the bull heads on. Her political plunge is yet not declared. What we are learning from our sources that both brother and sister Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi might visit Ayodhya between 26th of April to 30th of April, and then between 1 to 3rd May. Nomination can be filed, but now there is yet not official word which has come on this, but this is what sources are indicating to us, that Gandhi family members will be contesting from the northern part. Otherwise it would be as good as walkover to the BJP, and this would only give credence to the charge of the BJP also, that Congress has now essentially become a southern India party.
That is the point, isn't it, Javed Ansari, that if Priyanka Gandhi, for all the strengths that she has, unless she contests an election, how does she take the next step forward? She's tried in Uttar Pradesh in 2022 to lead the Congress campaign. It didn't work. So she's still not been able to prove herself as a vote catcher. She attracts eyeballs, but she hasn't yet shown that she can actually pull in the votes.
Rajdeep, the last word has not been heard on her candidature from Raebareli. I will be very surprised if she doesn't. I will also be very surprised if Rahul Gandhi doesn't contest from Amethi. Both brother and sister are under tremendous pressure from the Congress rank and file and from the electorate in these two places. And if the Congress has any chance of winning these two seats, it all depends on whether Rahul and Priyanka contest or not. They have to contest, or else Congress can say bye-bye to those two seats.
But why is she reluctant? Why has she been so reluctant for so long? What explains her reluctance? She's now been in public life for a fair while. What explains the reluctance, especially now that Sonia Gandhi has given up Raebareli?
Well, she's been a reluctant debutante from a very long time, from 1999 when she first held her mother's election campaign in Amethi. But I guess she's slowly getting there. She's slowly getting there, and like I said earlier, I'd be very surprised if she doesn't, because the pressure from the rank and file of the party and from a large section of the electorate in both these places is tremendous. This will be, if they don't contest, it will be akin to them leaving the battlefield, and this is something that they just cannot afford to do.
Interesting. What you're saying, therefore, is that the pressure is coming from within the party to get Priyanka Gandhi Vadra and Rahul Gandhi to both contest from Raebareli and Amethi. There's talk, as Rahul Gautam also put it there, the possibility of the duo going to Ayodhya, possibly to offer prayers at the Ram Mandir there and then announce their intention. So next week could be crucial, because Amethi and Raebareli go to polls in the 5th phase of campaigning, which is on the 20th of May. So that's the week where that final decision has to be taken. For now, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra attracting eyeballs, no doubt, with her sharp statements. Whether she can actually capture votes for the Congress, especially in Uttar Pradesh, against the might of Narendra Modi and Yogi Adityanath, that's the big question that remains to be answered. I appreciate Javed Ansari and Rahul Gautam for joining me on the Elections Unlocked. Well, let's give you a quick update of what else is happening on the election trail. Political fight over the Congress's manifesto continuing. Rahul Gandhi reiterating a wealth survey promise, saying the Prime Minister's creating inequality. Prime Minister hitting back, accusing the Congress of looting people. Quota showdown erupting in Karnataka after Muslims, remember, have been categorized there as OBCs. Prime Minister Modi hitting out, saying Congress will snatch Dalit quota and give it to Muslims. The Congress claiming that this has been in place since the 1970s in Karnataka. Repolling also taking place in 8 polling stations in Arunachal Pradesh today. Earlier, the Election Commission in an order declared the 19th April polling in these 8 polling stations as null and void due to violence and other issues. Today's repolling was peaceful here. Okay, let's turn to our ground report, and it comes from Baghpat, an interesting constituency that for decades was the bastion of Chaudhry Charan Singh, Bharat Ratna and former Prime Minister. The popular saying here is, Jaat jiske, thaat uske. Well, now it's Chaudhry Charan Singh's grandson, Jayant Chaudhary, who switched to the BJP, the RLD leader, who's hoping that with the backing of the BJP, he can reclaim the Baghpat seat for the party symbol, the hand pump. Will the BJP RLD alliance therefore win in the Ganna belt? Milan Sharma files a special report.
जाटों में एक कहावत है, जाट जिसके ठाट उसके.
Indeed, in the Ganna belt of western Uttar Pradesh, the Jats are the ultimate decider. But can history repeat itself on the legacy seat of Kisan Putra Chaudhry Charan Singh? A 3-time MP from this Lok Sabha seat, he served as the former Prime Minister of India for a brief period till Indira Gandhi withdrew her support. Locals say a Bharat Ratna for the Dharti Putra was long time coming.
इस बार क्या लगता है बागपत में, क्योंकि अब भाजपा और आरएलडी की पास ये सीट चली गई है, तो कौन जीतेगा?
मैडम देखो, यहाँ पे तो ना कैंडिडेट की भी अलग छवि है और ये सीट ना इमोशन से जुड़ी है. चौधरी साहब के लोग यहाँ उनकी भावुकता से जुड़ी है. लोग उनको जो देते हैं क्योंकि उन्होंने यहाँ पे बहुत सारा काम किया हुआ है किसानों के लिए, जैसे किसानों को मील दिए.
आज की स्थिति में अगर देखा जाए, बीजेपी के साथ में मिल जाने से हमारे जयंत और बीजेपी की ताकत एक जो है स्ट्रॉन्ग ताकत बनी है.
Chaudhry Charan Singh's politics was always in the benefit of farmers, and which is why he's still known as a Dharti Putra or Kisan Putra. He was recently given the Bharat Ratna as well, and that pride is seen in the farmers and the Jat community across Baghpat, which could definitely have a ripple effect in these elections in the Baghpat constituency.
These days, Jayant Chaudhary, the scion of the now Rashtriya Lok Dal, is on the campaign trail to bring this seat its lost glory. The deal has been made sweeter for Jayant with the BJP RLD alliance, and Baghpat being one of the 2 seats that sealed the deal with BJP in western UP.
जयंत, एक सवाल आपसे, ये आपके घर की सीट है, आप क्यों यहाँ से नहीं लड़े, या आपने क्यों अपने परिवार के एक सदस्य को इस सीट से नहीं लड़ाया, और राजकुमार सांगवान जी क्यों?
मैं चाहता हूं कि मेरे दल का विस्तार हो, और मैं चुनाव बागपत से हम लोग मेहनत कर रहे हैं, लेकिन जमीन पे प्रत्याशी के ऊपर एक दबाव होता है. तो सांगवान जी जैसे आज हम लोग एक क्षेत्र में, दूसरे क्षेत्र में गांव-गांव वो जा रहे हैं, तो एक मैसेज गया है पार्टी में निचले स्तर तक कि जो मेहनत करता है उसे आगे संभावना उनके लिए है और पार्टी उनकी कदर करती है. ये एक बड़ा मैसेज है, क्योंकि डॉक्टर सांगवान एक ग्रास रूट वर्कर रहे हैं. पार्टी के कार्यक्रमों को संचालित करना, उनको आगे बढ़ाना, चुनावी प्रबंधन करना, ऐसा कोई काम नहीं जो उन्होंने ना किया हो.
The division between Jats in 2014 and 2019 was the factor which led to the defeat of Ajit Singh and Jayant. A mistake that the Jat Biradri says they will not repeat this time.
आप बताइए कि यहाँ से साइकिल या हैंडपंप?
हैंडपंप साइकिल कहीं नहीं और कोई भी कहीं नहीं है.
कोई नहीं. जीरो, बिल्कुल जीरो.
और सब जीरो है, सब बिल्कुल लड़का चलना कोई नहीं.
सब जीरो. नहीं, साइकिल और हाथी जीरो बिल्कुल. यहाँ तो सिर्फ हैंडपंप चलेगा और चलता रहेगा.
इन्हें तो घरों बैठ जाना चाहते हो. हाँ. पर्चे ठाले तो ठीक है, चुनाव से पहले बेइज्जती.
Samajwadi Party had earlier played the Jat card on this seat, but then played the Brahmin card by announcing the name of Amarpal Sharma, while BSP has fielded Praveen Bansal, a Banya candidate.
कितना मुश्किल या कितना आसान आप देखते हैं इस बार बागपत पे चुनाव? ये पैतृक सीट रही चौधरी चरण सिंह जी की, अजीत सिंह जी की, फिर जयंत चौधरी यहाँ से लड़े लेकिन हार गए, ये सीट भाजपा में चली गई। तो आज कितनी बड़ी चुनौती आप मानते हैं इस लोकसभा सीट?
देखिए, मैं इसमें कोई चुनौती नहीं मानता। जहां तक चौधरी साहब की बात है, आदरणीय स्वर्गीय चौधरी चरण सिंह साहब जो थे, वो कभी असूलों से उन्होंने समझौता नहीं किया। किसानों के मामले में कभी वो किसी के सामने नहीं झुके। लेकिन आज लोग गद्दी के लिए समझौता कर रहे हैं, तो इसलिए कोई चुनौती नहीं है। उनके असूलों पे तो कोई चल नहीं रहा।
It is for the first time in many years that no one from the Chaudhary Charan Singh family is contesting on the Bagpat's prestige seat. But will they be able to win back what they lost in 2019 with the support of the BJP? A Bania candidate by the BSP and a Brahman candidate by the Samajwadi Party will make this contest an interesting one in the legacy seat of Bagpat. With Nasir Khan, Milan Sharma for India Today.
Now that's all that we could pack in this edition of Elections Unlocked. But before we wrap up this edition, I want to leave you with these images that make India's election special in a way. Independent candidate from Maharashtra's Aurangabad Lok Sabha constituency, Saib Khan Pathan, caught the attention of everyone while on his way to file nomination. He rode on a camel through a busy street in the city. He also posed for the camera, showing the victory sign as his camel marched forward. Well, what do you know? Could he be the ship in the desert, or is this simply a photo op? Thanks for watching. You stay well, stay safe. That was the Elections Unlocked. News and updates continue on India Today.